First at 4, regrets in the courtroom can't prevent stiff sentences for 3 men linked to a plot to kidnap Governor Whitmer. Plus, here's Brian.
And after a very windy and rainy start to our Thursday, we've got colder temperatures and breezy winds heading our way through the end of the week and into the weekend. The details and what you can expect in your 4-1 forecast coming up.
We go behind the mask when someone looks okay but is thinking about suicide. We talk to a young man who's been there.
The pain for me felt like being in the darkness.
And survived to help others survive.
Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News First at 4 starts now.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Karen Drew. First at 4, we now know the sentences for 3 men convicted of crimes connected to a plot to kidnap Governor Whitmer, and they are the longest sentences so far. The men did not have a direct role in the conspiracy, but were convicted on several charges, including providing material support for a terrorism act. Paul Bellar was sentenced to at least 7 years in prison. Joe Morrison got at least 10, while Pete Musico received 12 to 20 years. Attorney General Dana Nessel talked about the message the sentences are sending. But first, the men shared their regrets in court, like these comments from Joe Morrison.
I made mistakes. I acted recklessly and carelessly with my words. I got around the wrong people. I fed off their energy. I regret that I ever let hate, fear, and anger into my heart the way I did.
For those who think this is a laughing matter, I would beg to differ. I'd ask you to take a look at the sentences that were handed down today and see that these are incredibly serious cases, and these are very lengthy sentences.
Morrison, Musico, and Bellar were members of the Wolverine Watchmen who trained with Adam Fox, who faces a possible life sentence in a separate case in federal court. The FBI broke up that plot before anything happened to the governor. Well, it was also sentencing day for a man convicted of killing and mutilating someone he met on a dating app. A judge sent Mark Lutunsky to prison for life without parole. Lutunsky was convicted of killing Kevin Bacon back in 2019. Friends say Bacon went to visit a man he met on the app Grindr, and that led police to Lutunsky's Shiawassee County home. Police say he killed Bacon and then ate parts of his body. Lutunsky pleaded guilty to a few charges back in September, including open murder. 16-year-old in Livingston County could face charges connected to a threat against another student at the Livingston Christian School in Brighton. Police say a text message was sent yesterday to the victim saying, quote, "Tomorrow, I'm going to bring a gun to school and kill you. Don't come to school tomorrow." Livingston Christian School was closed today. Police tracked down a 16-year-old suspect who admitted to sending the threat. They determined he did not have access to firearms. Now, the student is suspended until further notice and released to his parents pending any charges from prosecutors. 24 hours ago, we were worried about rain, wind, and flooding, but things have cleared out for now. Take a look. Live look downtown to Campus Martius. We are in the 40s this afternoon, but that is going to change. Brian Sherman is in for Kim Adams. Brian, what's going on?
Karen, we've got some colder weather that's going to move our way. The last of the rain now pulling off to the east from what we've had earlier this morning. Exact Track 4D radar has some light rain moving over portions of Canada, but southeastern Michigan, we are all dry, but we are looking for a little bit of a light rain, snow, wintry mix heading our way through the evening hours tonight. 43 right now here in Detroit, 41 in Howell as well as in Pontiac, and checking in at 41 also working into Adrian. Winds still a little breezy, anywhere from 5 to 15 miles an hour. That cloud cover has stuck around after that rain and gusty winds earlier this morning. But again, with a weak disturbance rolling in this evening, I'm going to hold on to a light rain, snow, wintry mix between 8 and about midnight tonight before temperatures start to nosedive as we head into the upcoming weekend. Details on what you can expect in your complete forewarned forecast coming up in just a few minutes. Karen.
All right. Thank you, Brian. We are tracking a budget cliffhanger on Capitol Hill right now. The House of Representatives has thrown lawmakers a lifeline, but it's not clear if the Senate will grab it before time runs out. Let's get to Kimberly Gill following this story from our newsroom. We are getting close to the deadline, Kim.
We are. Karen, good afternoon to you. The current deadline to avoid a government shutdown is Friday at midnight. As always, the devil is in the details, as they say, as Democrats and Republicans jockey for some of their pet priorities. So let's start in the Democratic-led House, which passed a short-term spending bill last night. If it passes the Senate, the continuing resolution funds the government at last year's levels through December 23rd, giving lawmakers another week to get a larger deal done. Most House Republicans were against the measure. They'd like to negotiate the spending plan after they take control of that chamber next month. Over in the Senate, they're working on a defense bill first, but running into disagreements over an amendment that would cap lawyers' fees on lawsuits connected to water contamination at Camp Lejeune. Could that one snag derail the plan to avoid a government shutdown? Senators are looking for a resolution, but the clock is ticking. We'll, of course, keep you posted with any updates on Local 4 News at 5. But for now, Karen, we'll go ahead and send it back to you for the rest of the news of the day.
All right, we appreciate it. Thank you, Kim. Well, we are getting a new look at retail sales, the job market, and it's been a rough day on Wall Street. Let's start with shopping. Retail sales fell 0.6% from October to November. It's quite a dip after an increase of 1.3% the month before. This time around, we are told sales fell at furniture, electronics, and home and garden stores. Overall, it is the sharpest decline in spending all year long. Meantime, jobless claims are also falling. The number of people trying to get benefits for the first time dropped to 211,000. That's about 20,000 fewer than many economists were expecting. More evidence the labor market is staying strong in spite of inflation and higher interest rates. But investors are still worried about future hikes in interest rates. Stocks fell broadly throughout the day. At times, the Dow Jones fell more than 2%. As you're taking a look right now, the Dow down 764 points, down 2.25%. The suicide of DJ and dancer Steven's Twitch boss has so many people wondering how someone who seems so positive and joyful could take his own life. Twitch may be best known for his role on the Ellen DeGeneres show, but his big smile and dancing were frequently seen on social media as recently as just days ago. So what can we learn from his tragic death? Like many of us, Paula Tutman is looking for answers, and she spoke to someone who came close to losing his own life. Tell us more, Paula.
Yeah, hi. So I heard a really startling stat today, Karen, and I don't think I knew this. Second leading cause of death for people aged 10 to 23 in the state of Michigan is suicide. I don't know that I knew that stat before, but I knew this was an important story to dial into, and so I called a young man I met earlier this year as he was passing through Detroit because he does have a particular area of expertise with this. What is going on behind the so-called mask? Depression, anger, fear, financial difficulties, health problems, grief. The reasons are many, but not always obvious. Sometimes it is not one single thing, but an accumulation of things until one day the noise feels unstoppable.
The pain for me felt like being in the darkness and just not feeling like I will ever see a light.
Jordan Burnham, a popular kid in high school, athlete with lots of friends and a ready smile, explains what it was like leading up to the final moments before he jumped 9 stories to what he hoped then would be the end of the pain.
My suicide attempt was an impulsive one. It was not one where I woke up that morning thinking, this is the day I'm going to attempt suicide. But that night when I got home, I played golf that day. It was a great day. My dad found a duffel bag full of alcohol that I had in my car. I realized that I disappointed my parents yet again, and I attempted suicide by going out of my 9-story bedroom window.
I like to think of it as a tornado of emotions and reasons just colliding within each other. Don't really know what's going on, just everything is very heightened in emotions. And things just aren't connecting as they normally do.
The information we're getting to help prevent suicides comes from people who have survived the attempts, says Melissa Bowman from Common Ground and the trainer for the Michigan Crisis Access Line.
On the crisis line, we help slow down the tornado.
Jordan says it might be a good practice to simply ask everyone a simple question in a very specific way.
Instead of asking, how are you doing? Start asking, how are you feeling? We're so accustomed to getting, how are you doing? We have our one-word answers, we have our comebacks. But when someone actually takes the time to say, how are you feeling? And genuinely wants to actually listen, that's where we have open and honest conversations of not just, how are you doing? I can say you're doing great, but how are you feeling?
Melissa says you can get even more specific than that.
I'm wondering, are you thinking about killing yourself? Have you had any thoughts of hurting yourself? And being open to that conversation. And if anytime you don't feel safe or comfortable asking that question, reach out to the lines.
Yeah, and there are quite a few lines. There are a lot of resources out there and lots of numbers, but really you only have to remember 3. 988, Karen. 988. If you know someone who is in crisis, if you want to talk to someone and you don't know how to talk to them, or if you just want to know what the signs are, 988. There are people on the other side of that line who can very likely get you across to the other side, so you're not thinking about those things. Karen?
I like the question. Instead of how are you doing, how are you feeling? Might just open up for conversation. I like that. Learn
and
something.
that number,
All right.
988, Karen.
988.
988.
Thank you. So important. Thank you, Paula.